Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you some results from battery testing I did on the Eachine dustX58, and I was thinking that I can go to a lighter battery and maybe get better performance, so I tried to use a couple lighter batteries here, and I'll show you the weight and time here. I also went to a heavier battery and actually had some interesting results with that too. What's really interesting is that the high volt tiny whip battery, which weighs the least amount but also has the smallest capacity, actually performed the worst. So I've charged this all the way up to 4.35 volts, and the performance was pretty weak. At the end of this little talk here, I'll show you the punch outs for each of these that I actually did a little bit of flying, so you can see what it looks like. And this actually performed the worst. It's 7.3 grams, but I had to include the weight of this little adapter that I had to make. This is a little micro low-C to JST-PH connector for these little power whip batteries, and the performance on this was pretty bad. The 300 milliamp hour battery, this is the Nanotech 300 milliamp hour with a micro low-C connector. This actually wasn't too bad. It was pretty peppy, only 8.2 grams, but the flight time was still pretty low, 2 minutes and 21 seconds. The flight time on the high volt battery was only 1 minute 50 seconds. And obviously I think that the battery they chose to put in this stock Eachine 450, this one actually I thought was the best one for this weight. It's about 10.7 grams, about 11 grams, and you get about 3.5 minutes of flight time, and it had similar performance to the 300. So you get a little bit better punch out on the 300 over the 450, but it's not a huge difference. I would rather get the extra minute of flight time. And then I tried this really heavy battery. This is a 18.9 grams. This is a Nanotech, this is a Turnigy Graphene 750 milliamp hour battery with a micro low-C connector. It's very heavy. It's almost double, well, not quite double. It's about 8 grams more than the 450, and it's 300 milliamp hours more, but you only get about a little over a minute extra flight time. It's still peppy on the punch outs, but it's definitely sluggish. You can still fly it around, but I don't think it'll do any I don't think acro flight's going to be very useful with something this heavy. I mean, this battery weighs 18.9 grams. The whole quad weighs 25 grams. So, you know, my conclusion based on this testing is that these motors, these 20,000 kV motors, they're drawing a lot of current. And what that boils down to is that these batteries are going to have better performance as they have increasing capacity, so they can provide more current without the voltage sagging so much. And so I was actually when I was doing all these hover tests, I was watching. There's a little light here on the flight controller right there. You can't see, it's not turned on right now, but when it goes into a low voltage warning mode, the little red light starts flashing. When it's not in low voltage mode, the little red light will be off. And so while I was doing that, I noticed that these smaller capacity batteries, the red light would turn on pretty much right away. Like especially this one. This one was low voltage sagging almost immediately, and then probably has to do with the low capacity of the battery and the fact that there's inefficiencies with these extra connectors here, the longer wire, and then these extra connectors here on the sides that are preventing the current from flowing efficiently from the battery to the motors. I think this battery here is a 20 to 40 C battery, and even though it's not a high volt, it's performed pretty well. It has a shorter connector here and less loss of efficiency in that one. But I think as you go up in battery capacity, the voltage sag doesn't occur as early, obviously. So this 450 actually went quite a bit. I think it was maybe about 2 minutes or so into the hover before the little low voltage light started coming on. Obviously the bigger capacity here, the 750 didn't come on for a while, but at the same time it's a lot of extra weight, and you definitely gain more flight time, but you give up performance for that. So just to give you guys an idea of what you can expect from this, I would say my conclusion is to stick with the 450. Somewhere around 450, 500 would be good, and try not to get too heavy, say between 10 to 15 grams at the most. I don't think there's too much advantage of going lower. Probably 300 is the lowest I would go. If you want to give up flight time for more acro flying, I think that's a possibility, but then you're going to be landing within about 2 minutes, especially if you're doing a lot of hard maneuvers and harden the throttle, so something to keep in mind. But if you're just cruising around and you don't care about acrobatics, then put a giant battery on there, and as long as the C rating is pretty high, I think this one is, what is it, 65C? Right there, so that has a lot to do, and the fact that it's a graphene battery has a lot to do with the fact that it was able to maintain its voltage throughout the hover and in the flights. Anyway guys, hope you guys find this little video useful. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. There's the punch out test. Another one. One feels like it has more punch than the high volt battery.